Hey everybody, sorry, Max Massa here, back with Gambit, and now we're going to be doing his melee hybrid build. I call it Death's Gambit. I call it that because he is pretty squishy. I think there's a current bug going on. If you didn't see the ranged build or you didn't look at the marked cards build, there's a little bit of a bug going on with his durability stat. At level 26 I leveled and got to 4 durability, and at level 29 when I leveled, I went to 3 durability. So I really think he's supposed to have more durability, and it makes sense, and that would be probably why everyone's saying he's so squishy. If you look too, he also really doesn't have a high fighting stat. For someone that they're kind of making a hybrid melee ranged guy that's supposed to bounce back and forth, you would think those stats would be just a little bit higher to survive when you do go into the combat. For the most part, his dodge is very good, and it's really good low level, but as you level up, it starts to taper down. The bell curve kind of hurts you, and it doesn't scale it well enough. So you're going from 65% at level 15 to 40% at level 30. So it's a little bit off skew. For the most part, I'll answer the questions that I know probably come up, because you hear probably in chat a ton of people saying Gambit is awesome, he's greatest, no one can beat his DPS. I hear a ton of people probably saying that he sucks, I keep dying, he's squishy. All of it's true to a degree. I would say because his skills cross so many different characters, they cross Daredevil, they cross Deadpool, they cross Hawkeye, they cross a lot of different characters, and I kind of combine them, trying to make it a melee / range hybrid class. And it's probably the best done so far that way. I consider him a jack of all trades, but a master of none. He's definitely not the most DPS out there, but he can burst really good. Not quite as good as Thor's burst with the God Hammer, but not terrible either, better than some others. And he can sustain a pretty good amount of damage output while not bursting. He has okay survivability. I don't think his survivability is up there enough to really maintain full melee, but it's close, and if you go really hardcore with life regen and life sustaining, it works very well. Save for the occasional, I think Blob gave me a lot of trouble. Leveling, I had trouble with Pyro, and I had trouble with Sauron. Sauron was one-shotting me. That was my mistake, though, because he was red. I know the content well enough that I can just power through all those quests, and I went way too fast, where I should have stopped and just XP grinded a little bit and got my level to the level of the content. So that was my fault. And I'll show you here under stats, 27 defeats. Not sure if cheat death prevents one of those from getting going on. I believe it does. I could be wrong. So I died a lot, a real lot, between 15 and 25. And then it kind of started coming back in his own. And a little bit that was my mistake, so I own it. For the most part, I was leveling him really hardcore melee, just using range to pop surge abilities and to put suits on when I had the suits. And I'll get into that in a moment. So I'm going to go into the Death's Gambit build, and it's going to be melee based. What I was talking about the suits is there's red suits and there's black suits, and in this one it's going to be all red suits. Don't even, I guess if you're doing really low content, you go to black suits, but you're going to need the life sustaining from even the piddly amount of 21 health per hit on just 1 point is a lot. So going into the build, we're going to do some bow beatdown here. We're doing this over this. You hear a lot of people saying bow strike. The problem is they don't really see the numbers correctly. They're seeing 2.1 attack speed, so they think they're attacking faster, and they're going to get more off of the red suits. This is in part true. They are attacking 0.4 seconds faster. 0.4. And so they are going to get an extra hit in, every 6 seconds? They'll get 1 extra hit. So, no, every 4 seconds they'll get 1 extra hit. That's about what it comes down to. However, I'll take this up to level 13 just so you can see. This is doing 2085 to 2579, and this is doing 2424 to 3087. So you're getting a lot more damage. This is removing damage being dished out. That's definitely an interesting point to take it. You will reduce their damage output by 6.7%. I don't find that to be enough compared to the fact that I'm going to put a buff on it that everybody does 147 extra damage to them. I like that a lot more. The second part, this hits 3 times the size of this. It actually goes out twice as far, and it's about 2, maybe 2.5 times as wide. That's going to give you roughly 3 times the amount of hits. I've had it in Midtown where I've hit all 4 bosses when they were stacked up right. So, both Beatdown I really like. Oh, if you're hearing any coos or cries, that's the baby in the background sleeping. She makes weird noises. Sorry. But it's cute. So, we're also going to do Ace of Spades. And this is going to be our ranged ability. We need a ranged ability to get red suits on. Even though we're not maxing red suits out, we're going to put a point into it. And in order for us to get that 23 health per melee hit, we have to hit with a ranged ability. And most range abilities have Surge, unless they're basics, which only hits 1. This will hit 1 and then blow up and mark several targets, which is what we're looking for. And it also reduces their movement speed, which is kind of a nice little add-on feature, and it does a really good amount of damage. And it doesn't surge. Biggest part about it is it doesn't surge. The reason that's important is because we want to surge when we want to surge, not when we want to use a power. And the power that we're going to use to surge is 52 card pickup. We'll also use this in binds. What I mean by binds is when you're in a melee group and you're in trouble, you can drop this. It reduces their attack and movement speed for 1.5 seconds. I find this to be a negative point of it. The reason why they only do 1.5 seconds because the energy damage is applied at the end of the skill. So then it blows up. It's really, really expensive for a 1.5 second skill to do cruddy damage and cruddy CC. It's okay CC, 34%, but let me tell you, when Jean Grey comes around, you're going, yeah, Jean, thank you. Because that is doing twice as much attack speed reduction, and it's very, very noticeable. So I'm not saying it's a bad skill. What I'm saying is it really should be like 10 spirit. This is not the right spirit. But we're going to use it to surge because it's surged. That's another bad thing about it. It shouldn't be a surge if it's going to be a CC. You don't want to pop your kinetic overcharge and, early. And that's going to bring us to kinetic overcharge. This is going to go into surge. So if you didn't see the previous video, what surge is when you're moving around and when you're attacking with your powers, you will gain kinetic charge. When it's at 100%, you can go into kinetic overcharge, which means when you hit a surge ability, like this 52 card pickup, it activates this buff, which overcharged effect, which means every hit does an additional 622 to 846 damage. You get 4.7% attack speed and 344 critical rating for 10 seconds. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that damage is actually really big considering how much is getting hit and how often it gets hit. Even on the ranged ability, because you're hitting so much, you're getting so much extra damage. This is basically, for the range guys, it's probably doubling their damage. For us melee guys, it's probably like 1.5 of our damage, but it's massive. It's very, very handy. And it's really what it's based off of. And then, of course, we're going to do Sleight of Hand. This is our dodge passive. It also has a 20% chance when you dodge to deal an extra 1246 to 1478. The damage is nothing, however it is considered a ranged attack and will put on red suits, very important for us. And we're going to go Savant Expert. I'd rather not, but he's squishy, and that stupid 15, it's a ridiculous amount of defense. It should be double this, but 469 defense at least is something with 400 hit points. Both of those should be doubled. It's a joke at the level 42 here. I'd really like to put the points in Raging Cajun, but I don't need the points in Raging Cajun. I need the defense. And that's going to bring us to a 1 point in Raging Cajun, 1 point in Cheap Death, the 1 point in Red Suits, and the 1 point in Sticky Fingers. And we're going to just do 1 point of Kinetic Control for the extra Spirit, and the extra damage we'll get. It's definitely worth 1 point. We do have some range going on. Not much, but there is some. And so let me just confirm that. Oops, what happened? I didn't have a point in there. Do I got everything now? I got everything now. Okay. So we'll have Bow Beatdown on the left button. Of course, our right button is going to be Run Around. My primary button here, which is usually number 6, is going to be our Ace of Spades. That's going to put our range debuff on. We're going to take the red suits. Once you activate it, it should stay up. Sometimes when you zone, it falls off. So make sure you just reactivate it again. And then we'll have 52 card pickup to activate our Surge. And Raging Cajun, as you can see, it's still giving us a big bonus. What we're doing with this is we're going to Surge when we need to, and that's going to give us this overcharged effect. And while we're overcharged, our kinetic energy bar will stay full until the buff falls off, and then we'll go to 0 and we start generating kinetic charge again. With Raging Cajun, even though everybody thinks it's a silly signature, it's actually a very awesome signature. I think the spirit cost should get removed personally, but it's going to put you to 100 kinetic charge. So now you can Surge again, and when you hit this for 10 seconds, you gain an additional 497 critical rating, an additional 1413 dodge, and you're immune to crowd control effects for 10 seconds. So you pop that with the overcharge effect. Now you're critting like mad. You hit really, really hard. So it's really, really good burst damage. That's when he does his best damage. People who are saying he's awesome at DPS are mind locked onto that one maneuver that you can do every 30 seconds or so. 25 seconds we do it my way. So he's really good. He's bursty. Okay DPS without it. Good DPS while bursting. And when he bursts hard by popping this signature here, he's got a really, really good DPS. And that's just the way he is. Be a little bit more enjoyable if he's a little bit more survivable. But we'll go ahead and do a terminal now. I'm just making sure I got everything out here I need. This is just a passive. That's out there. That's down there. That's down there. And hopefully we'll do the best. I'm going to go back to Hood's Hideout. That's easy. It's easy because it's got lots of things. So first thing you got to do is what I didn't do is activate the red suits. Ace of Spades blows up. Even if you kill a target, it'll still blow up. It's very, very interesting that way. So here we go. We got a lot of targets, so I'm going to go Surge with my CC. Oh, she's going to wake up soon. And then, while you're not full of kinetic charge, feel free to drop 52 card pickup when you want. Oh, I actually forgot to go over the gearing. It's going to be the same as a range build, but once I kill Hood, I'll go over the gear back at the tower. So now I'm not surging. And because I popped it. Oh, I was surging. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Because I popped it, it went away. But see, it comes back really, really fast. That's part of my gear. It definitely comes back faster with the bow beatdown build. Nice little glitch. So this is a hard target. Hard targets I usually surge. It's worth it. They go down in a heartbeat, as you can see. That was pretty fast. Oh, I need my signature down here. That's what I'm not missing. That's what I don't have. I'm not going to use that until I get the hood, but I probably surged at the wrong time there. I didn't realize surge was full. I can tell surge is gone because this surge button will go green. So most of this is already dead, so I don't want to waste a surge here. One thing good about your roll is it will stun. So if you roll through Rhino when he's charging, it'll stop his charge. I'm just going to beeline for Hood. She's waking up. So I got a hard target. I'm going to surge. I thought I surged. There's another one, so it's not really a waste. So as you can see, if you watch the range build, it's going to chew down one single targets a lot better, and this is going to chew down area targets a lot better, unless you surge on the range build. Oops, threw it the wrong direction. And feel free to cast that Ace of Spades very often. Cast it whenever you want. You're not going to really run out of mana. If you run out of spirit or running low, you're going to want enough to keep charging around so you can get out of stuff. But it'll be supplemental DPS anyways. I just surged. I just surged again. Now I'm going Gambit. Or Hood. I might be able to kill him before the surge effect is gone. Nope, so I'm going to maximize the surge again with the signature. And that should get us a finish on Hood. See, there's a squishiness coming into play there. And that's it. Let's see if she gives me enough time to go back to the training room. Perfect. And now for gear. I got his rifle. This rifle is awesome, even for the melee based, because of the attack speed, the brutal strike rating, the critical strike rating, the regeneration of spirit, the extra damage and the range ability. We are using ranged powers on this, so that's helping our blow up, and you get a lot of extra kinetic charge, especially with this bow beatdown, look at the size that hits compared to the bow strike. So the people who are using the bow strike are just crazy, unless you're really trying to make a melee focused on one target. I mean, that's just a massive wide swath that this hits here. Very, very important in my mind. I'm doing Dr. Doom's medallion because we're relying on powers that last. 15% power duration doesn't sound like long, but it's 1.5 seconds. So instead of surging for 10 seconds, I'm surging for 11.5 seconds. Instead of Raging Cajun for 10 seconds, I'm surging for 1.5 seconds. And I find that to be very important. So if you can get that on gear, it's good, but you're really going to want hit points like this is, and hit point regeneration. Again, hit point regeneration. I wish there was hit points, but it's got extra defense, so it's really good. The other great thing about the Doom medal is if you do get swarmed, that 8% chance to cause attackers to cower in fear when you are attacked is awesome. Actually, it's not runaway in fear anymore, huh? That's interesting. Now they stand still. That's even better for you, if that's correct. And if they run away, it's still good because it's better than dying. You basically need 12 guys to attack you, and you can dodge it, and it can still go off. So it's great CC. It keeps you alive. Other people may not like it, but that's too bad for them. Fearsome Fist of Farala, we're in the thick of it. You're going to dodge all the time. That's going to give you 1200 crit rating for 2 seconds. That's going to be up almost permanently. I guarantee you crit a lot. Lemuria for the health regen. The shield motion tracker I'd probably swap out for a heroic Yukio's at this point, but I forgot to. And you can see you actually get the benefit of damage at maximum range, so it does help a little bit. This is hit points on basic attack and hit points on death. Very important. Costume is just like the other one. Hit points on basic attack. A lot of it, 106 here, plus 1,000, well, yeah, 1,000 hit points. Comes in very handy. And then I do always special item, rare item find on my boots. And luckily the rifle actually has rare item find on it too. And the ring is great for this guy because it's a damage on crit, which I don't really care for, but the 70 damage on range power and 70 damage on melee power, it's like it's made for Gambit. And that's Gambit. I'm not saying you're going to live. You saw how he took some damage from the Hood there. Hood hit him 3 times, did his triple tap at point blank range, and almost took him down to 1/3. So he's squishy, but I think it's a bug. He should be a little bit more durable, but he'll still be semi-squishy as a melee based. And those are the builds that I know of. So I hope it helped. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later.